benchmark stuff at that price is that's just not even fair. Look at here, look at here. Got some Middle West stuff up there out of Ohio. We got invited upstairs, the inner sanctum. You're interested in the rules? Huh?
He said 5 seconds.
Oh, is it? We are doing the 5 seconds?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go.
Okay, back here. Ooh, whoa. It has been quite an eventful morning bourbon hunting, even though we're just getting started. Today, I'm in Savannah, Georgia, and the day hasn't started off exactly like I had hoped. I really wanted to start it over near the river in some of the touristy areas. There's a lot of liquor stores over there, and I rode around over there for like 30, 40 minutes trying to find parking within 5 or 6 blocks of these places. I know, it's popular. There's a lot of people down there eating lunch and stuff. So I bailed on that and went to the next store on my list. And let's just say it did not feel like an environment that was conducive to breaking out a camera and filming a bourbon hunt. So I just went ahead and swiped on to the next one. And so here we are on like the 3rd store I was supposed to stop at, but the first one we're actually going to, and this is Largo Beverage Discount Superstore. And so I picked this store because online their photos had these barrels in the middle with barrel picks. And if they're doing barrel picks, usually they got a pretty solid whiskey selection. Well, Angel's Envy private selection. I would normally pick this up. I don't think I have any private selections of Angel's Envy, but I just got word that one of our patrons actually won a private barrel of Angel's Envy, so I may be going with them on that pick. I'll just get some of those. We did just get a Knob Creek Rye pick as well, so no need to pick up another one of those. Some Buffalo Trace pretty much everywhere here. Yellowstone picks. I have 3 of these open now at the house. Well, the nearest pick isn't. It's just small batch. It's not a pick. What is this? Savannah handcrafted premium bourbon, the best of low country. It does look a little thin. Aged in charred New Oak barrels. That's all it gives you. It's like they've got a honey version as well. So this one looks like it, I don't know if it's the bottle, but it looks like it might have a little more color to it. It is a single barrel Founder's Reserve, 108 proof, sweet tea bourbon. I think I'll definitely pass on that. I'm gonna think about that. Let's see. So it's a single barrel aged 5+ years. I think we'll grab that one right there. Hopefully it's in big barrels. So see, it says produced and bottled by, which means it's probably sourced from somewhere, but I think we'll still give that one a try. Like the benchmark stuff at that price is that's just not even fair. Like that's crazy. Like foolproof for what, $25, I think? Maybe $22. And some 12 point there. Don't see those in the wild a whole lot. Look at here, look at here. This is their bonded bourbon. I haven't had their bonded bourbon, but this is their high rye mash bill, 44% rye. The single barrel, or the cask strength, the cask strength version of this, out of this world, but I need a bonded one. This also, really good stuff. I would look for a single barrel of this though. The cask strength single barrels are really, really nice. Small bottles of Flatboat. I don't know anything about those. Distilled and bottled in Kentucky. Bottled by the Founders Company, Louisville, Kentucky, but private barrel. We just bought a private barrel smoke wagon. So definitely not grabbing that one this time. Jefferson's changing up their look. It's a different logo. First time I've seen that one. You gonna comp me that one?
Yeah, our store pick smoke wagon. Yeah.
Awesome, I appreciate it. I bought a smoke wagon pick yesterday, my first one I've ever had.
Have you had any of these yet?
Like I said, I bought one. A friend of mine did a pick with a store, so I bought one of those yesterday. Haven't opened it yet, so I've never had a smoke wagon pick.
Okay.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Thank you.
My name is Greg.
TJ.
TJ, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yes, sir. Well, I don't know if they recognize who we were or if that lady asked and then they looked up the channel, but I'm not going to turn down free whiskey. Not a normal experience. We try very hard with these to show what the experience would be like for you if you went out and went bourbon hunting somewhere, but at the same time, you know, I hate to not take advantage of the perks because I really would like to try that smoke wagon pick. So we are going to head off to the next door. I'll see y'all in a minute. And our next stop, Habersham. Just right down the street from where we just were. So easy trek over here to give it a try. We got a Lazy Guy Distillery bourbon here from Kennesaw, but it looks like it is 2-year aged. So we probably gonna skip that one. Anita's Choice 6 grain. It's an interesting label. Too small for me to read. I have to do some research because I can't read the label. Whole bunch of ASW stuff here. Haven't seen the Old Fourth Rye out in the wild. I don't think. I said last time I saw one of these, even though I think this is a completely different bottle, it used to be in a little small squatty bottle. I said next time I saw one of these, I was gonna buy it. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna try this one. Crafted in the 10th oldest distillery in Kentucky, Owensboro Distilling Company. It looks a little young, but no high proof. Appreciate y'all. All right, so in this one, we don't have a local tour guide. These folks not particularly talkative. Like they about shut us down in there. They didn't, guys like, you got permission to do that? Then they agreed to let us film. So normally with these, we don't call ahead. Like I don't want them to know I'm coming. So we don't call ahead and ask for permission. But if they ask us to stop filming, like they have an issue with it, it's fine. We stop filming, no problem whatsoever, and just move on to the next store, or, you know, buy something if we find it. And we'll just do that off camera. Most stores these days don't have a problem with it. It's really probably less than 10% of stores that actually have a problem with us filming in the store. Like we're just trying to help stores that are doing it right. Like just go to a place, document the scene. Like that's the whole point in these. Can we go to a place, document what the scene looks like, and show you which stores have whiskey, and also folks that are not in this area or never coming to this area, maybe we can highlight some smaller brands, pick up some bottles, or y'all can at least see what the scene is like somewhere else. They seemed a little apprehensive about the filming, so we don't have a guide, and they're not real talkative, so we're not a lot of dialogue in this one. So we've got to grab a little lunch here. I know in one of the previous videos, we had joked about reviewing gas station chicken. No fried chicken for me today. Need something light and baked or grilled or something of that nature. You know, make healthy choices, live healthier lifestyles. That's definitely something we have to do. I'm gonna find something around here, then we'll catch up at the next store. So I was literally sitting here talking about how we don't have a local tour guide for this video. I was hopping in the truck. John rolled up here, recognized me, said you wish you could go hunting, but you had some work to do. So you're just gonna skip work for a couple hours.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go do some bourbon hunting.
Yes, sir.
It's not gonna get you in trouble that this is documented on the internet.
No, sir.
So you said Pooler is the place to go.
Yep, I got 2 stores to take you to.
Okay.
They're not gold mines, but they definitely got some good stuff.
All right. Bourbon hunting is so much more fun with somebody else. I mean, whiskey in general is a social activity. That's why I like it so much. It's, you know, it's not about who's got the fanciest bottles or whatever, right? It's just about enjoying a good pour with some good friends. It's fun when we run into folks that we can take along with us. And I like to try to find somebody that can, you know, be our local tour guide. But sometimes when I just go by myself, I run into somebody, I invite them. It's funny when we were early in the channel and, you know, nobody knew who we were, I get turned down an awful lot going in a store and asking somebody, hey, you want to go to another store? You want to go hunting? Just run into somebody and start talking. Now that folks recognize us, obviously a little easier to do. This is Liquorland. But before we go in here, tell me a little bit about your bourbon journey so far. Like, where are you at?
About 6 months in, one of my very good friends, Johnny, he got me into it. We just been pretty much going by what you say. To be honest with you, we're still real newbies. We're not on the big prize, you know, unicorns. We more like what you do.
Okay.
We like supporting small companies. Unfortunately, I don't really have that around me. And him, he's in New Jersey. He don't really have that around him. So we're kind of trying to find a medium ground. I'm still working on learning how to distinguish different tasting notes. I'm like you, I like wheated, I like sweeter stuff. I do like finishes. That's where I'll disagree with you a little bit.
So in my defense, I don't like all finishes. I like subtle finishes. I'm starting to get a little more into finished whiskey. A lot of times what I've learned with a lot of folks is that a lot of people, they want one note in their whiskey. They want it to be just one nice sweet note with a little bit of oakiness. And I'm looking for a little more subtlety, and finish often removes the subtlety. But if you're about that one note, they're really good. So we're looking for sweeter stuff, maybe a unicorn. If we can find one, okay. Got some Middle West stuff up there out of Ohio. The Oak and Eden, I'm not a huge fan of those. They have the spirals in them, so it adds oakiness, but it's like oak tannins and not maturity and sophistication.
Okay.
So if you want the oak tannins, that's great, but you also probably want to try toasted barrels and double oaks and things like that. Although a lot of double oaks, they can add some sophistication, but a lot of folks are putting chips or, you know, staves or whatever in them. And if you like that more like barrel char, honestly, you'll probably like a lot of small producer stuff that are rapidly aging. Like find somebody putting stuff in 30-gallon barrels because it adds a ton of that flavor. Some Rocktown stuff, man. It's got a pretty good craft selection here. Old Souls. I bought that Sagamore Double Oaks the other day. It's a really good bottle.
Have you had Elijah Craig toasted?
I do. I mean, it's one of my favorite like main producer toasted barrels. I kind of like it. I don't drink it a lot, but when I go to it, I always enjoy it. I haven't seen that 5-year pinhook right there before. I just bought this bottle at the last store that I just came out, or one of the stores this morning, this Old Dominic Bottled in Bond. When they started, they were having their stuff contract distilled at MGP. Okay. They were putting that high rye in the Hewling Station line. This is their own version of that. They distilled in Memphis, and if you like a high rye bourbon, that one is fantastic. So the great thing about a high rye bourbon, I say I like a lot of rye in my bourbon. I like a lot of bourbon in my rye. So I want it to be not like too grassy. And that's what's great about a high rye bourbon is you still get all that sweetness and, you know, on a bourbon, but you've got all that rye spice in there as well. That's the bonded. If you ever see the cask strength of that, they've got a blend out that's 117 proof. 100% buy that one. New Riff.
He said that's going to be their claim to fame.
You think their rye right here?
Well, that's what he said in the interview.
Pursuit, yeah, Bourbon Pursuit.
That's going to be his claim to fame is the rye.
Is their rye. So have you tried it?
Have not.
Well, so we got a single barrel right here, cask strength rye. It's on me. I got it.
My man.
Okay, I want you to try it. I want you to tell me what you think of it. There's a Heaven Hill Bonded right there. Those used to be really hard to find, and now they're everywhere. Now these barrel private releases right here are some of my favorite from them. The problem is all the ones that I've had that I don't like at all have George Dickel in them. They use Dickel in quite a few of these blends. And so I bought like 5 of them, 4 of them outstanding, and one of them had George Dickel not in. It's mineral. It's like a mineral taste. So the Old Peppers, I bought, obviously not a rye. I bought an Old Pepper bottle like this. I didn't love it. It had a lot of that barrel char, like it got too much heat, or it was, you know, small barrel. I don't know what it was, but it had a ton of barrel impact. However, Pepper makes the decanter bottles, and those are pretty good. If you get one of those cool looking decanter bottles, really nice bottle of whiskey there. So this is the one I'm talking about right here.
Okay.
Pepper decanter, $61.
Good price?
Yeah, here, I got that one too.
Have you had their cigar blend?
Their cigar blend, their cigar blend's pretty good, but if I'm gonna buy a cigar series, I'm gonna buy that RY3 right there. Okay. That's the one I would get. That's probably maybe my second favorite cigar blend behind the Joseph Magnus. If I recall, it's a good bit more affordable than the Joseph Magnus. The Magnus is like you see them 220, 250, depending on the state they're in. Prideful Goat, it's source stuff. But these are from, I believe it's the guys that have the Bourbon Real Talk podcast and YouTube channel. They're sourced whiskey, but they're good.
Have you had the Pursuits yet?
The Pursuit stuff is really good. They have their own stave profile for double oaking. We bought 2 barrels from them that were double oaked, but it's not their stave profile. Right now, their stave profile is distillery only release. When that's in the market, gobble it up because it's probably the most like over the top caramel forward whiskey I've ever had. And it's French oak. I don't like French oak. And this thing's out of this world. So they've done a great job with that Pursuit French oak double oaked. I just bought a Savannah single barrel. I don't know where it's sourced from. Do you know where it's sourced from?
So technically it's their mash bill that's distilled by somebody else for them. When they originally started, it was one place that shut down, and now they're in another city.
So I'm excited to try it. I'm always excited. I mean, that's the point of this, right? Is to try to find all of those cool craft brands, to bring awareness around those brands that are making their own stuff and have good whiskey. And so anytime I see one, I mean, I like the tater bottles as much as the next guy. I get, people hating in the comments if I pay a little too much for them. I have paid secondary for a couple of bottles. Not even my money. It was a corporate budget, but they still get mad about it. That's part of whiskey hunting too. Sometimes you find a nice bottle, you want to splurge on it. Like that's just how it is. I did just notice this. I didn't even see. Red Line right there, Hive Edition. You said you liked Amberana.
Yes.
Have you had the Penelope Rio?
Have not yet.
It's on par to me as somebody that does not like Amberana. That is their Amberana honey finished whiskey, and Red Line is really, really good at finishing stuff. Like that's their thing.
What are we doing? Anything particular?
Just out bourbon hunting, and we were talking about, I just ran into this gentleman over here, and he told me this is where I needed to be. So what are you into? You like bourbon?
Yeah, we actually just got back from Louisville 2 weeks ago.
Nice, I'll be there next week.
Picks. Yeah.
So what'd you do barrel picks of?
Old Forester did barrel proof and the 100 proof.
The 100 proofs are hard to find. You
So
don't see those a
we'll
lot.
see which one we get. We did
Okay.
taste of both.
So you test, and then they pick which one they want to send you, or?
And they'll, I guess, talk to the state representative for
Okay.
Georgia and see what they're able to send. You know, we did Maker's Mark. That's our annual. We did one Nulu, a double oak.
Mm-hmm.
We were really impressed, being
Nice.
the smaller distillery, you know. And Castle and Key,
Awesome.
rye.
So expect those in the fall, probably.
Yes, we've got Eagle Rare coming some point. Single barrel.
How many barrels do y'all normally buy a year? How many barrel picks?
It's about 30 to 40.
How do y'all typically handle allocated products?
So it's all about customers relationship. If
Yeah.
we know our regular customers, we do everything retail. We don't do any markup or secondary. So it's fair share. But then we do Father's Day bourbon release. We'll have that coming up in 2-3 weeks, I believe. 2 weeks. We do our annual Christmas first come. That's when we'll have about 150 people camping out or come up that morning.
The really rare stuff, the Van
Exactly,
Winkles and things.
But throughout the year, depends on what we have and how often we get certain things. We'll just set up a table to, hey, first come, no hold.
Okay, he's gonna go do a little work in this room. We got invited upstairs to the inner sanctum. I don't know. Sometimes, listen, we try to show an authentic experience as to what it's like to bourbon hunt. I've already said that in this video, but I'm also not going to turn down the inner sanctum. Like they invite me to the office, I'm gonna go. If I go in and there's like a black casting couch, I'll leave. Then I'll go the other direction. Other than that, I'm gonna go in there and we'll see what whiskey they have, okay? And we're about to find out, because right there is the magical door.
I'm interested on these rules.
You're interested in the rules? What?
He said 5 seconds.
He said there's somebody that does 5 seconds, they open the door, you just go in. I don't know if he's gonna make us do that. Okay. I think he was joking. We might have 15 seconds.
A few minutes later.
Oh, we are doing the 5 seconds?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. I don't have to be out with it. I just have to have it in my hand.
That's right.
Okay. One at a time. You go first. You go first.
You can't see the layout. Right?
I won't see it. I'm just going to, hey, here, take this with you.
Go.
What'd you get? Oh, you got the Rio. Look at there. Got the Penelope Rio. Let's see if we can do better than that.
Go.
Okay, back here. Ooh, Victor's barrel strength. Yeah, whoa. MSRP right here, right?
Yes.
He got a Penelope Rio. Did you see this?
I didn't know it was MSRP.
Let's see what he got here, though.
Nothing but retail.
Castle and Key, Thomas Handy, Michter's 10s. Dude, that is crazy. These Michter barrel strengths are one of my favorite ryes on the planet, too.
What'd you get?
What I got the Van Winkle 15.
Oh, man.
I mean, you can try to beg right now if you want. We'll just take it off camera. If you want to beg.
No, I'll buy this and then I'll be back.
Okay.
It's good, though.
Well, I'm glad
You say it's good.
Oh, I said I don't like Amberana, but that's a good Amber. That's one of the better Amberanas.
I've had Penelope. I've never bought a Penelope bottle. So
Okay.
this is my first Penelope bottle. So
I'm not lucky enough to win things typically, so I have one of these I got years ago that I've been nursing for a long time. It's hard to get these unless you win a lottery or something, and I've never seemed to do that. So
would you say it's that good?
no, it's for the price I'm about to pay. If he charges me MSRP, yes. For secondary value, not even close.
So have you had any have these 12?
Yeah, those are the problem with the 12 is it's just low proof. Well, the 12's 90 proof, so that makes it instantly different. The 15 has a little more oak. The balance is great.
Don't some people argue that it becomes too oaky?
It does. So 12 years is like the perfect year for Kentucky bourbon typically, but they just don't offer that one at 107 proof. So like that 12 may be great at 107 proof. This one has a touch too much oak for me, but it's still just so freaking good. It's the good kind of oak. Here's the problem with he's being nice. He obviously recognized us from the channel. The clout got us back here, and I don't want everybody to come. Great store, great selection, prices are awesome, but also don't want everybody to just like destroy the store or be mad at him. So are you going to do that for other people? Is that a thing you're thinking about doing? How's it going to work?
Chances of, yeah, it just won't be regular. It just depends on me being here, or it could be random week or random month. But we do that more than often, but not always. So it's just not gonna be where, hey, I'm here, can I get an access to office? It just won't work that way.
So every once in a while, you're just going to randomly choose some people, give them 5 seconds in the office.
That's right.
Swing by, make sure you talk to somebody, get to know folks. Maybe you can get a chance in the office. You are going to get roasted for that Rio over any of the Van Winkle. Like half the bottles in there.
Everything's preference though.
But it was also like, it was very pressure filled. Like honestly, he gave me an extra second there to find it because I almost grabbed the 12. The 12 is what jumped out at me. But it, like, 5 seconds is not a lot of time.
And my biggest thing was I wasn't expecting MSRP.
All right, we have scored pretty dang good. Like, we have found a lot of bottles. We had a small budget, like we were trying to keep the budget down, but every once in a while, when you just hit a honey hole, you gotta go all out. Like, that's just what you have to do, unfortunately. You gotta have loose budgets a little bit when it comes to bourbon hunting, because sometimes you just find a lot of good whiskey. Our next stop is Pooler Spirits Warehouse. Nice old soul picks there. These Redwood Empires, if you find a cask strength of these Redwood Empires, grab it.
Did they just release a new one?
Yes, I think they've got 2 new ones in the market that I don't have. Yes, so I have this bottle. I have like some of their rare stuff. We're talking to them. They're supposed to be sending us samples of these double oaks right here. If my memory serves, that's $20 cheaper than I can get that bottle in Alabama at the little stores we found it at. Yeah, I got the Rickhouse Proof Holidays right there. That's what I like to see. Dude, these are good. I like their sherry finish. This right here is their Oloroso. This is the one right here. This is the best thing they make, hands down to me, is this sherry cake. It comes in a tube too. I think the tubes, maybe they got it out. I think maybe that's the tube back there. This guy right here is the best thing they make. That's the best sherry cask finish. That's a big statement without me being able to name any other sherry cask finish stuff right off the top of my head. But it's the favorite one that I've got right now that I've been drinking on. Honestly, that's one of my favorite Jim Beam bottles is the Baker 7. Now, I've bought a bunch of the old style bottle. They went from, I think those are the single barrels and the other ones were not, or maybe it's the opposite. Yeah, these are single barrels. So they had the old, they were in like tall bottles like this at one point. Okay. And when they changed, I bought a bunch of them because I didn't know what the difference would be. So I'm still sipping on my old stock. If you like Jim Beam's flow, you know, that flavor profile, that kind of nuttiness. Do you like Knob Creek?
Yeah.
It's Jim Beam. Everybody just thinks Jim Beam is Jim Beam, but like Knob Creek, the Baker stuff, Booker's, which Booker's can be extremely nutty, but they're, you know, they've got a lot of brands that fall under that Jim Beam profile, and Baker 7's one of my favorites. It's an American, California small batch American whiskey from Cutwater. That's fancy. I'm not seeing a whole lot here to catch my attention. I don't think you're gonna be able to leverage the clout. You can try. I don't think you're gonna be able to pull the clout. We are concluding our bourbon hunt in Savannah. We ended up out here in Pooler. I appreciate you taking the time off to hang out with me and give me a guided tour. Had a great time, man. There is a lot of hate out there. I mean, I've just been seeing a ton of hate about everything. Like, just life is hard enough, man. I don't understand why so many people have to hate. And I know right now there's somebody wanting to post negative comments about him grabbing a Penelope Rio. There's somebody wanting to post negative comments about me getting invited into the back when they didn't get invited into the back. And there's somebody wanting to post right now about me getting a Van Winkle 15 when a local deserved that bottle. I don't understand why. I know life's hard and everybody gets stressed out and sometimes you just want to come vent on the internet. I guess I understand that perspective of it, but let's do something positive, right? Let me know your favorite craft distillery down in the comments. If you watched all the way to the end, hit me with #BottleKill and go out somewhere today and just do something positive. And I got one more thing. I got something for you. This man is going to get hate for buying a Penelope Rio. He didn't get a Penelope Rio. He got a Van Winkle. So you can't hate on me for taking one out of the local market, and you can't hate on him for grabbing a Rio. So find something else to hate on, man. Or better yet, go out and do something positive. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Yes,
brother.
sir. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.